Hey there, gamers and game show lovers. Ryan, the game show guy here. And today I got a fun one for you, a little bit different because we're not doing a game show. This is actually just a game. And a game you all know. We all remember this playing. Remember a little game? Do you remember a game called Connect 4? A board game? Yeah, well, actually, what is a board game? What if a board game isn't a board and it's vertical, or we always call them board games, family games, game night. Connect 4 is a game that we have all played a whole bunch. You drop the circles and can you get 4? Is it up? Is it down? It's diagonal. I got my version of this, and you don't need a board. You just need PowerPoint to be able to run the thing. Let's check it out. My game here is called 4 in a Row. Hey, everybody. So let's take a look at this game. My version of Connect 4 is pretty much like the standard game that we all know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me walk you through a little bit about how I design and put the game together, because like all my games, yes, you play the game, but it's got a twist. And the reason I do the twists is for a couple of reasons. Is because we're not just playing the games for the game's sake. We're playing them primarily. Almost all of my games are review games. I don't think I stress that enough sometimes in these videos and whatever. The idea that isn't just necessarily, hey, we're just playing Jeopardy for fun, but like, no, I want to be able to see what you know about, your 5th grade science, or about the book To Kill a Mockingbird, or basically what have we been learning and studying, and kind of do and review from that. And so that's what sort of the twist is that I would like that I'm doing here, is how we can be able to demonstrate, show what you know, and let's have some fun along the way. And also I got some other twists, because since we're not stuck to just the normal game, we can have a little bit of fun here. Anyway, let's check this thing out. All right, like you can see with all of my games here, shows up with the opening slide. Has my little Bitmoji character over there, and on top of that, and the Bitmoji character always, of course, says, please modify it, change it. You make it fit what you to maybe fit in your classroom. And so have some fun playing with the thing. Usually, like sort of most things, I would say is try it the way the instructions are, and then after you do that, say, okay, that worked or that didn't, kind of a thing. All right, so and then also in the bottom, you'll notice down here is that the list of the fonts. Fonts are not essential, but they're pretty important in terms of trying to be able to get them. If you can get them installed, it's going to look the way that it was designed and intended to be looked. And if you don't know how to be able to access fonts, I put the links down here that you can download them directly. If you got them from Teachers Pay Teachers, it is already, I have a zip folder of them already in there. So please be able to download and install them. I got a whole video on fonts. Check it out on my YouTube channel. And when in doubt, also to just search for how to be able to install fonts. But basically, you need to get the font installed on your computer in order for these to look the way that they were intended. Okay, sorry, struggling through some allergies here, but all right, let me put this thing into the slideshow mode and show you what it looks like with my little music that kicks off here. A-do, da, a-do, a-da, a-do, do, 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 do. We're playing ourselves a game 4 in a row. I sing sometimes because I've heard the song before. And this game's called Classroom Edition, but change it to what you want. Yeah, see, I like having the little jingles. I know it's kind of a little funny thing, but I love them. I do, and literally with the kids too, because I know them so much. I just make it up riff as we go. Like I've done with all of them. I have Classroom Edition or Game Subject, and you change that to fit yours. All right, so here is the directions. Sometimes I got directions for you that are sort of hidden slides, and sometimes I got student or class instructions. These are class instructions that just pop up on slide 2. And you go over with them. Here's one of the sort of the problems with this game is that because it is Connect 4, it's one-on-one. So how do I do one-on-one in terms of a whole class? Well, you're breaking the class up into 2 large teams. And if you got a large class, then this may not necessarily be the game for you. Or you can get creative and do 4 teams and have the 2 of them play and then the other 2 play. But anyway, so that's one of the issues with this thing, or whatever. But let me just show you how it works. All right. So basically, I'm going to have one person from each team come up to the front of the board, grab their whiteboard. It's always right behind me, and I grab them right here, and I always forget to have them in time, but there's my whiteboard. All right. You got your whiteboard, and you got your pen. Both players are ready to be able to write down the answers, and it is what are the molecules that make up water? And you're like, okay, what is the thing? And then they write their stuff, right? H2O, 1, 2, 3, show me your board. So you're like, hey, all right. And then here's how I do mine. If they guess correctly, you're going to get a piece on You get to play a piece on the board. If they guess incorrectly, they don't get a play. So this is different as opposed to, hey, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. It could be like red, yellow you didn't play. So it could be red, red, yellow. So it mixes it up. So the games can go a little bit faster than your traditional Connect Four because it's not always just going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And basically, there's no limit on how long you play, how many games you can play. You can play the boards over and over again. So it's not like a Jeopardy where you got a grid of questions. You just keep playing them, right? And so basically, I have up on my whiteboard in the back over there, I got one my scorekeeper. Every time they get a question, they get a point. And if they can get themselves 4 in a row, ding, 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 reset it, and you guys got 10 points. That's it. That's the essence of the game. And now let's play Connect Four. Ready, set, go. Now, I have these boards, the standard board, and I got 4 of the things. We'll get to them later. Standard board looks as such here. I've built this in PowerPoint, and it's interactive, and I can see I got my little circles there, and we're going to use, even though it doesn't exist digitally, we're going to use gravity. And if they're going to say, hey, a red team wants to be able to play, they only have 4 choices. They can play. If red goes first, they're going to go spot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I kind of grade them out a little bit just so that the students sitting down can tell the person who is running the mouse which one to be able to click on. Not a bad idea, by the way, to recommend the getting it and have it with me. It's sitting over there, but use the wireless mouse. And so as opposed to you always running the thing, it's nice to be able to have the device in which that the players actually can make those choices. It's kind of a little bit more fun. And virtually all of my games that way, if they're going to spin a wheel or hit a thing or whatever, let them do that. And so just by having that little wireless mouse, I'm going to have a video about some of the ones that I recommend, the best way to be able to get that gameplay. But the kid will just say, I'm going to go number 2. So you just click number 2. And then what I have done is I have created this in which that if you click on it, it will then change the color to red. All right, very good. And then that team plays, and they're like, show me your boards. And they go, oh, they got H2O. Good job. They got 1 point. And where do you guys want to go? And they go, I want to go number 3. Well, it's red. If you click it twice, hello, and it turns to yellow. And that's it. Now that I'm done there, we do the next question. This is different from almost every one of my games because guess what happens here? I don't have questions. Normally, I started my whole game show bit with doing these things, which is that the questions are on the board. Then you answer the questions that are on the screen. We see an answer. Then we go back to some sort of game board. I thought about doing it for this game, but I ended up not. When I played it with my students, and this is one of my newer games, I've only played it a few times. And what I realized is I don't like doing that. So what I do is my questions all come from, I have them written down on my index cards, okay? Or you could just have a separate sheet of paper of them, and I just say, all right, question number 1, what are the molecules that make up water? I didn't write it down because it wasn't, anyway, but you get the idea. So this way you have doesn't matter the number of questions that you have, because you can just, you just pull them out from everywhere. It's fun, because it feels more like game show kind of a thing. It does take away, you have virtually no media that you can run, right? You're not really showing like, hey, let's look at this. What are these molecules? And show the H2O molecule and have them say, that's water. Like, you don't do that because there's no image. So this is audio only. So keep that in mind if you want to be able to start setting it up. So it's a fun game. It is, but it does have those limitations of the questions are audio, and it is red versus yellow kind of a thing. All right, that's it. So then you have the next team go, let's see, red got it right. So they're going to go there. And then yellow's going to go, and their choices are they only can go gravity. So they can't just all of a sudden go up here to the very top and click this. Now, if you do click on that, you're like, oh, that's not a problem. I can switch it to yellow. And if I click one more time, it goes back to the beginning. So once you play to Connect Four, you follow me here? Right there, there's a Connect Four. Ding, ding, ding. Red gets the diagonal. Now, what do I do next is I just have the helper. They just go back over here. One of the things that I had a hard time with is that when you do reset the board, the numbers go away. So I think, it's a little bit of sort of a frustration that I'm trying to be able to fix in future iterations, but the way I've been playing, it's been relatively fine. Because and the reason being is I only play this main board a couple times. So as soon as we've done 1 or 2 of these ones, and we go to some more questions, I give the kids the options, as opposed to going to the standard board. Watch this. I got 4 mystery boards. This is what takes this game up to something a little bit more fun. I'm going to hop out of here so I can show you the boards, what they look like here. Because I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. They all kind of had different looks. And on the side, there's my Bitmoji me telling you what to do. So I'm going to tell you here in the video. And then if you forget or you didn't watch the video, well, you wouldn't know because you wouldn't have seen. But anyway, there's me on the side to be able to take a look at them. They go from increasingly levels of complexity and crazy silliness kind of a thing. Board number 1, I call Sideline Special. Sideline Special is this. Basically, the edges have already been, the sidelines have already been done. They are in every other red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. And I tell them, you can't change those. They're set. So that bottom one is always red. The second one is always yellow. And so they're already kind of in there. And they play on them. So if I could get 3 reds, so let me pop this into slideshow mode so you can kind of see this thing here. If I could do this, 1, 2, there's a Connect 4. I only had 3 questions that I had to play, but it made that connector right there. Got it. Sideline Special, relatively simple and easy. Let's take a look at my other special board. Board number 2 is Zero Gravity. What's cool about that one is, like I said, we have to follow the laws of gravity when you play Connect 4. Not here. Why? Because like my little Bitmoji guy says there, zero gravity is all about having your pieces float. Here, you could put them anywhere, and they don't need to drop to the bottom. Oh, that's an interesting premise now that you're watching and you can and you see it. Hey, Red, you got the first question right. H2O, where do you want to go? Spot 22. It's just floating in space. Yellow, where do you want to go? 41. So you can see what we got here. They're all over the place. Kind of changes it up a little bit about where you want to go. That's Zero Gravity. Check that one out. That's kind of fun. What's next? Joker's Wild. Joker's Wild's all about these 4 jokers that I placed on the board here. And they're wild. So what wild means, it's red and yellow. It's both. Should have made a joker that's red and yellow. But anyway, you get the premise of the thing. So now it is, this gravity still applies. The zero gravity is only in the 1. So I have to play here. And then I go here. So right here, if you notice, 2 teams can get themselves 4 in a row. That if I hit they can get it 2 different ways here, but that if I hit this yellow one right here, this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row vertically. Okay. Or if I went diagonally, like this way, I guess I get it both ways, but 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonally, because the joker then counts for that. Okay. Or let's say if I block that, like, there you go. See how that's a 4 in a row in the bottom right there, because the Joker's Wild. The Joker can play for both is basically the idea of the thing. Joker's Wild's pretty fun. And you're ready for the last one? Holy moly. This thing is a bit wacky. This is called my chance board. My chance board means this. When you have, let me bring up Bitmoji here. This is the craziest of the boards. After they answer a question correctly, the kids usually pick red, yellow, red, yellow. Well, now you give them a choice, a little bit like my Let's Make a Deal game. Do you want to be able to play that you're red and yellow, or do you want to pick one of my special ones, because you can take a chance and things can get better or things can be worse? So what do you mean by that, Ryan? So it shows here, let me bring it up. It's a little bit easier for you to see when it's in slide. When I go to the chance before we even start playing the games, I show them, hey, you have A through L. These are these special ones. They only can be played once. And what do they mean? You'll have one of these things. And the very bottom, this button called tokens will show you one of the 5 options that will show up. I have a ×2, a bomb, an anchor. I got a paintbrush and a frowny face. So what they all mean, the ×2 simply is that if they click on theirs and the ×2 shows up, that means they get to play 2 consecutive pieces. But I do have a thing in here. They cannot be a winning piece. Ooh. 2 consecutive non-winning piece. So if they have 2, they can't add 3 and 4 on it. They can add 3 and then put one other place. Got it? That's ×2. Dun, dun, dun. Number 2 is, I had to mix them up there a little bit, but here's the bomb. The bomb basically means a team can blow up and remove one of their opponent's pieces. Just simply get rid of it. And like you saw on my the game board, they're simply easy. Just click it and you can change the color. Anchor does this. Team can play a piece and remove all the pieces below it. So I'm going to drop it. It's going to go. It won't do that. But basically, you wipe everything down, leaves your colored piece at the bottom. So if there's 5 above it, it destroys everything. It does an anchor and it blows all the red and yellows all the way down until yours is just sitting there on the bottom. Paintbrush, team can just change their opponent's color. Just change the color on that one. Oh, so I messed up. Bomb just basically removes theirs. I messed that up earlier. Bomb just gets rid of the opponent's. Paintbrush will swip it. Swip, that's the word I just made up. Switch or split. Anyway, switch. Basically, if I'm red, I can switch it to yellow. And then the sad face, basically, if you're going to take a chance, something bad can happen, which is you could lose. You can get nothing and just lose yours. All right, so that's the chance board. All right, so hey, what do you get guessed? You get H2O. What do you want? And like, I'm just gonna pick mine. I'm gonna go red over here. Good. And the other team, what do you guys guess? And they're gonna go. Do they want to take a chance? Kind of, there's some strategy in here. Like you don't want to do the. Some of these chances too early. You want to wait a little bit. And gravity applies on all of them except for the zero gravity game. And now when the next team gets up, let's say it's yellow's turn, and yellows go, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go B. All right, you're taking B. You're losing your chance. And what happens instead? Uh-oh, nothing. And you can see, you keep playing around. E. So then the person says, okay, if I'm yellow, I want to be able to, I'm going to pretend it looked like this. Yellow is going to go, oh, good, I want to have the first column. So then you go to the first column and you wipe out that one. You wipe out that one. You would wipe out that one, and then the new yellow piece comes in there. So that's what anchor would do. And you can see I just have them all in different spots. Let me show you where they are. They're already all preset. If you know something about layers, you're more than welcome to be able to change the layers, bring it up and move them around if you play multiple games. But within one game, I would not change it. So you're only going to really want to play the chance board game once, kind of a thing. And you can see here, I only have one anchor. I only have 1 times 2. So although there's multiple tokens that they can pick from, I have quite a few of the sad faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are taking a risk. So there's 6 bad things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 good, 6 bad. You can tell them that if you want, or also you can change them too. More than welcome. How to be able to change them? Like I said, all you would simply do is just move these pieces, right? And if I wanted to swap this one from one game to the next, I would just need to be able to, put this thing in the right spot, kind of a thing. For me, it definitely takes a little time to be able to learn about how to be able to line them up the correct way or whatever. So that's not perfect, but you get the basic idea. So now when you go back into the game show, the kids go, oh, hey, the good one's always at G or E or whatever. And like, no, it's not, because we moved them around a little bit. Got it. So that's chance board. That in essence is the game, folks. I have these questions. I got these directions here, basically. That you're more than willing to be able to use and do. If you did want to do questions, you could also, for those of you who know how to split screen, you could have maybe their game on one if you got multiple monitors, kind of a thing. And if you want to be able to have some, I definitely recommend you should have lots of questions, because you don't know. I have some of these games that they're a set number, like Jeopardy. I know I got a 5x5 grid or whatever, and I need 25 questions. This one you don't know. You can just continue to play for a while. So always have a backup. For this game, I actually threw in 14 random questions to be able to help out if you kind of need them. And don't feel set that the questions have to be like, hey, who founded Jeff Bezos founded which company? It could be Jeff Bezos founded which company, A, Amazon, B. So you can turn them to multiple choice or true false. Hey, true false, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon. So don't necessarily think that you're stuck with just having the name, fill in the answer kind of a thing. You can mix them up. But anyway, folks, that is that's the fun. That's the excitement of Connect 4. Here's a little bit of the directions you can see for the other stuff. One of my relatively newer games. I would love to be able to get some feedback as usual. I love to be able to get feedback on the places that we share that out. So love your feedback on Teachers Pay Teachers to tell us, give us ratings. Love to be able to hear back from on Instagram from you, and also on YouTube. Feel free to drop some comments on this video. All we basically want is we want to be able to hear how things are going. And more importantly, not necessarily like kudos to me, but also like share out to others about ways you're modifying it, changing it, what worked, what didn't, kind of a thing, to be able to create these great classroom experiences for all of us. Everybody, that's it. That is called 4 in a row. Hope you enjoyed. As always, I'm Ryan, the Game Show Guy. We'll see you next time.